cauliflower. But ever since 1992, researchers had shown that this compound sulforaphane in broccoli and cruciferous vegetables in laboratory studies exerted powerful cancer-preventing and cancer-fighting properties. And that is why we are advised to use more of the cruciferous vegetables on a daily basis: broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, green cabbage, purple radishes, watercress. All of them are very, very highly packed with anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer molecules, antioxidants, and sulforaphane is one of the best known. Now, the thing about cancer cells is that we would be glad if all of our cells had the kind of molecular ingenuity of cancer cells to dodge and escape any attack. You attack cancer cells and they can adjust and shift their metabolism and their molecular methods of communicating and escape. One kind of treatment may suppress them for a while, then they come back, and almost seems as if left to themselves, they would want to go on and on and on and on with nothing stopping them. And there are many mechanisms in cancer cells that enable them to escape, survive attacks, come back. And these mechanisms involve certain genetic mechanisms, DNA and microRNA mechanisms in cancer cells that are responsible for initiating the cancer cell mutations, enabling them to grow into a tumor from 1 or 2 cells, enabling them to escape molecules that might induce normal cell-programmed cell death when a cell ages. That happens in other cells. And it has been shown that the cruciferous vegetables with sulforaphane and other glucosinolates can impact in cancer prevention and cancer fighting at all of the levels in a cancer cell that cancer cells try to use to escape attack or to escape the body's own immune defenses. And of course, in the world in which we live, there is toxicity all around. Of course, there are people who deliberately take in toxins like tobacco and alcohol. Then there are toxins that people buy and eat and don't read labels, don't even know what they're taking into their bodies, and they take into their bodies destructive things and certain preservatives. A recent article shows that certain artificial sweeteners that have been looked upon as okay are now causing a red flag to be raised, more than a red flag. For example, aspartame, which is found in the chewing gums that people use, and other zero-calorie drinks and other artificial sweeteners are now known to be definitely carcinogenic, cancer-causing. Certain artificial dyes. So we are bombarded with a large number of toxic molecules in the environment, some deliberately used by people smoking alcohol, some in foods, and unsuspectedly we use them without knowing that they're there, or we just refuse to read labels. And in some instances, our national standards institutes around the world, even the FDA and so on, may not be in particular looking to warn us against some of these things. They may consider them not that big a threat, but more and more the research shows that the more pure we are in our eating, avoiding artificial flavors, dyes, sweeteners, and trying to minimize the intake of toxins, and at the same time taking in those molecules in fruits and vegetables, and for example, the cruciferous vegetables, to help, one, the liver detoxify these environmental toxins. The liver is a very important organ. It has a group of enzymes called the cytochrome P450 enzymes. And as we said some time ago, God made us capable of surviving in the hostile environment of sin. He foresaw the emergency of sin, did not ordain that sin should exist, but made provision for our survival during probationary existence. And the immune system is one such system, and the liver. The liver has a group of enzymes, the cytochrome P450 enzymes, that are responsible for doing what we call detoxification, changing molecules, oxidizing them, that molecules that otherwise would be toxic. And the important antioxidants and glucosinolates in like sulforaphane and cruciferous vegetables enhance the liver's power to detoxify certain toxins that we take in consciously, that is knowingly or unknowingly. And of course, we mentioned, of course, that N-acetylcysteine and milk thistle and dandelion are also supplements that enhance liver strength and health. And the cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, and all of them. So in these cruciferous vegetables, you have the sulforaphane and other molecules that strengthens the liver's ability to neutralize toxins that we take in our food and otherwise. They also act on cells to prevent the possibility and the probability of a cell undergoing the first stages in transformation to a cancer cell, mutations and initiation and so on. They help to switch off unhealthy genes and switch on genes that promote anti-inflammation and anti-mutation mechanisms. And we are recommended to eat more of these cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, and so on. There are many species of them. We are accustomed to the green broccoli and the white cauliflower, but they come in purple, yellow, and other varieties. And the purple contain more anthocyanins, but they all contain the sulforaphane. And studies show that we can use these cruciferous vegetables raw, in smoothies, in salads. We can also steam them lightly, just for a few minutes, not in any excessive amount of water, just perhaps a small amount of water, and steam them. And that the combination of eating some raw and some lightly steamed actually enhances the maximum amount of these sulforaphane and glucosinolate molecules that can be absorbed to support liver health and to help prevent cancer. They're very good for the gut, the breast, the prostate, and the immune system as well. Now, just to mention, the research has now shown that sulforaphane, though, is not that easily absorbed. So that is why eating some raw, like blended in a smoothie, lightly steaming some, that combination, and then using these vegetables with other vegetables like radishes and also turmeric and certain other leafy vegetables, including a little bit of cayenne and the black pepper extract, biopyrine, would help to enhance the absorption And one company, Life Extension Foundation in Florida, they're looking at techniques to enhance the absorption of sulforaphane so that you get maximum what we call bioavailability. What you take in, enough is absorbed rather than being lost in the stool. Enough is absorbed to do the job. So that is this research started in 1992, and they're now saying recently that the more they look at this sulforaphane in vegetables and the cruciferous vegetables. Remember the cruciferous vegetables: cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, watercress, radishes, Chinese cabbage, as we belong to that. Broccoli has the highest content, followed by cauliflower of sulforaphane, but they're all, and don't forget watercress. Watercress has other nutrient-dense properties as well. A study, for example, done in Taiwan showed that common risk factors that people indulge in alcohol and tobacco found that even in those people who were deliberately taking in alcohol and tobacco, and therefore would be at risk for higher incidences and prevalences of head and neck cancer, which is on the increase in the world now, head and neck cancer. They found that daily intake of the cruciferous vegetables reduced the risk by 56%, and daily intake of fruit of color, also reduced the risk by 45%. So when we look at fruit and vegetables together, eating more fruit, eating more vegetables, and then the kinds of vegetables we're looking at, the green leafy, and then apart from the green leafy, the cruciferous vegetables, we see the kind of positive effect in terms of maintaining health. One study found that those who smoke cigarettes and who eat processed meats had nearly triple the risk of also head and neck cancer. So in teaching our health message, we should persuade others to completely avoid tobacco, completely avoid alcohol, and also to completely avoid refined processed meats. And they include some that are very popular and make people annoyed when you mention them: bacon and ham and luncheon meat and corned beef. The process of refining and what they add, the smoking a meat increases its power to cause cancer. We call that smoking the meat makes it more carcinogenic. And all those refined processed meats were shown quite a while ago by a big European study to increase the risk of all the chronic non-communicable diseases, including cancer, as well as affecting brain health and impairing cognitive ability. And the same study observed that a higher fruit and vegetable intake and the cruciferous vegetables would definitely reduce the risk. Now, apart from cancers of head and neck, cancer of the lung remains the #1 cancer globally. Of course, in women, cancer of the breast. And of course, we still have cancer of the cervix, although we thought and think that annual or every 2 years getting a pap smear should pick up early changes from the human papillomavirus in the cervical cells that would then recommend freezing or whatever to prevent the progression on. But still, we are seeing a number of women turning up with cancer of the cervix, and it can be quite aggressive. Hence, we recommend our ladies to make sure they get their pap smears every year or every 2 years until they get past 65. Then the experts say they can stop them once the last 2 or 3 would have been clear. And breast cancer is still a big killer there. And of course, in men and women, colon cancer continues to be prevalent, and in men, prostate cancer. And these cruciferous vegetables, which we've been recommending, eat more broccoli, more cauliflower, more radishes, more cabbage, cabbage green, cabbage purple. You can do it in your smoothies. You can steam them lightly. You can just cut them up or use a grater and use them in your salads. But it's very important that we understand the value. We just like our carbohydrates and a protein source, but the value of these cruciferous vegetables cannot be overemphasized. Now, another thing about cancer cells is that they have what we call stem cells, or the fundamental, or what we, to put it simple, the parent cell. And sometimes the other cells can be knocked off by a particular mode of treatment, and the stem cells go into hiding, remain dormant for years, and then come back. And then the person might have thought that it was all over. And we know already that curcumin from turmeric and the same sulforaphane from the cruciferous vegetables can attack these stem cells. And that is important. And in fact, some oncologists in the USA recommend that when patients are using chemotherapy, they can take curcumin or sulforaphane from these vegetables to enhance the impact of the chemotherapy. One study, for example, in 2020 found that sulforaphane reduced the ability of cancer cells to resist chemotherapy. In other words, enhance the effect of chemotherapy if a person had chose that line of treatment. And cancers like thyroid cancer, for example, the cruciferous vegetable sulforaphane, certain specific anti-cancer genes and signaling factors are impacted on by the sulforaphane and therefore help to stop the cancer cell from being able to invade invasiveness. All marks of cancer cells, the ability to invade. Recent research is now looking at another set of proteins called lectins, one called galectin-3, which is a new kind of discovery. It's an amazing kind of molecule they're looking at. But the higher the galectin level and the overexpression of galectin-3, a person may be more prone to cancer formation and cancer spreading. Whereas lower galectin-3 and inhibition of galectin-3 function can stop cancer being invasive. All of the molecules in cruciferous vegetables, plus curcumin from turmeric, and carotenes like lutein and alpha-carotene and zeaxanthin from carrots and yellow, orange vegetables, and lycopene from tomato products, they help to limit the ability of cancer cells to invade, to move from where they are and invade other tissues. And research is being done into citrospectin. They've taken citrospectin, modified it into smaller molecules by treating it with acid and heat, organic acid and heat, to produce what is called modified low molecular weight citrospectin. And they're getting, as they look into the research, that first of all has shown good promise in helping to stop cancer cells from being able to invade. So the cancer cell remains there but can't invade, and the person obviously can survive. But they're also looking at other molecules now following that model in the future for stopping invasion. So you see that the more curcumin you use in turmeric, the more cruciferous vegetables you use, even if something is about to happen, you can hit it early in that initiation stage, enhance your immune system to be vigilant and to attack. And even if later stages are involved, you can limit or halt invasiveness of these cancer cells.
I doubt there's no volume. I don't know. Your internet seems to be giving some trouble.
Hello? Hello?
Hey, Sister Carmita.
Right. I think his internet knocked out, but we got the same internet, so he's trying to get back in. No. Use this in the meantime.
Oh, let me just see in a minute.
Questions trying to sing. Hallelujah. Come with your hearts on high. Hallelujah.
Hello again. Well, sorry, I don't know what happened to the big computer, so I have to come on with my tablet. Sorry about that, just dropped out. Okay, we were talking about the importance of these molecules, curcumin and the glucosinolates in blocking cancer formation, enhancing the immune system, strengthening the liver, and all of that. And then I was going to come on to look concisely at cauliflower now. Cauliflower nowadays when people have to reduce their carbohydrates, we're not talking about very low carbohydrate diets or anything like that. Reduce the excessive carbohydrates to 30 to 40% and avoid refined processed carbs that may cause spikes in blood sugar. Cauliflower is a wonderful vegetable. It is quite high in protein. It is low carb, high in all of the antioxidants and anti-inflammatory molecules, rich in potassium, magnesium, and some other very important trace minerals. And it can be used in a variety of ways. It can be used raw in smoothies, can be used in salads, and it can be, for example, cut up in small pieces and used with tofu in a sort of a fashion like how people do scrambled egg. It is very versatile, but it has been shown to definitely, like broccoli, give sulforaphane, reducing the risk for cancer and reducing inflammation, helping in a weight loss program because you can use a lot more cauliflower in whatever you're using. It is high in fiber and it is filling, but low carb, low carbohydrate and rich in antioxidants, and helps to fight the inflammatory process because chronic inflammation remains a problem with all of the chronic non-communicable diseases, and chronic inflammation drives cancer as well. So remember then the importance of using more of the cruciferous vegetables, all of them, the ones that are common: cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, radishes, the more exotic ones like watercress, which is, all of them are ranked as superfoods. And we can use more of them in a variety of ways, cut down on carbohydrate intake for weight loss and to prevent glucose spikes, and at the same time, help to reduce inflammation and increase the cancer fighting and immune supporting molecules that we take in, and also strengthening brain function, because these same molecules help to improve brain function, short-term and long-term memory, and cognitive overall improvement when these molecules are used, in contrast to sugars, high carbs, or dangerous fats. One of the good fats to use with broccoli and cauliflower would be found in walnuts. Walnuts are also rich in antioxidants. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 and help in the absorption of the antioxidants in the carotene range and in also the broccoli and cauliflower. And using pumpkin seeds with walnuts, that combination is called a super nut seed combination with cruciferous vegetables, whether you do it in salad or whether you do it in smoothie. They are mutually synergistic in terms of making the components of each other more bioavailable and better absorbed and better able to enhance the fight against inflammation and against cancer. Okay, so I will stop there and open up for any questions you may want to ask as we looked at the importance of these molecules in enhancing overall health and fighting and preventing and fighting cancer, and also helping to enhance brain function. Any questions?
Hello, good evening, Brother Douglin.
Good evening.
A quick question. There's a company here in Barbados that pushes and advertises very heavily, I guess you would call it a supplement called, I think it is called proarginine, and you hear people testifying and so on, and they say that it's very effective against cancers in general. If you're familiar with it, is it a pharmaceutical preparation or is it a naturally occurring nutrient? And in your estimation, how effective is it against cancer? Hello?
Yes, okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. You can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
You asked about proarginine. Arginine is an amino acid that we all need. It is converted in the body in a cycle called the arginine citrulline cycle, both in the liver and in the blood vessel wall, the endothelial cells. It is converted to citrulline, and research shows that citrulline by itself and citrulline combined with arginine can enhance the production of nitric oxide in the endothelium or inner lining of the arteries, causing the blood pressure to be well controlled and kept within normal range, causing increased blood flow, protecting the arteries from atherosclerosis and other damages from sugar and fat. And the proarginine is a special formulation by a company called Synergy. And the basis is the amino acids arginine and the amino acid citrulline. Those two work together. Research is showing, quite apart from that formulation, that taking citrulline and arginine, or citrulline by itself, will definitely enhance blood flow, help to regulate blood pressure, improve nitric oxide production in arteries, and helps. The main protection here is the blood vessels and the heart to reduce blood pressure in those with hypertension, improve blood flow, and that alone is of a tremendous benefit to brain and all the other organs. It is not formulated by the company, nor does research show that it has any specific value in terms of cancer fighting, but it certainly has been shown to be very good for the cardiovascular system, heart, and blood vessels. And although people may make other claims for it, the research points for its use mainly as an enhancer of cardiovascular, heart and blood vessel, heart and arteries, the health of heart and arteries, improving blood flow, and helping to reduce the risk of heart attack, stroke, hypertension, and those issues. So I hope that answers your question, Dr. Crony.
So it is indeed useful then as a supplement.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, one more question. If there are any other questions? Just to conclude then that in this time when we have to keep our level of inflammation down, our immune system.
Hello.
Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Just one question. You mentioned the other colors in the cauliflower and stuff like that. It might seem a little silly, or I think it might be, but are those really? Sometimes I wonder if they're actually real or they're just modified foods. So that's why I tend not to buy them because I don't know if they're real.
Yes, there are. Well, you know, people can counterfeit anything, but we are accustomed to just one species or a couple species of things. For example, look at rice. There is black rice, red rice, purple rice, wild rice. And in fact, the wild rice is said to be better than even the ordinary brown rice because it has a lower arsenic content. There are many types of corn. I'm not talking about genetically modified corn. There's blue corn, purple corn. Even in pomegranates out in Afghanistan, which is the world's #1 pomegranate producing country, there are many different kinds of pomegranate, deep red, deep purple, and certainly in broccoli and cauliflower, yes, there are genuine varieties of different color that are genuine in production. They're available in the countries that grow them, but we import sometimes, or we get here the purple cauliflower and other kinds of broccoli are also available. And when you sprout these things, of course, you get even a greater enhancement of the concentration of the molecules, the nutritive molecules, the sulforaphane, by sprouting broccoli, sprouting cabbage, sprouting cauliflower, sprouting the seeds and using the sprouts. You get a much higher concentration of the sulforaphane. But yes, varieties of color are genuine, so you don't have to be afraid of the variety of color. And I was closing off by saying they also are very good for enhancing the immune system. And in this time, we need our immune system to be in the best condition against viral and other infections and whatever else may come. And therefore, these green leafy vegetables, fruits, the cruciferous vegetables, curcuminoids from turmeric, and the carotenoids, along with the molecules we've been talking about in the past, vitamin D and zinc and NAC, selenium, and quercetin. And quercetin is a bioflavonoid found in onions and even broccoli itself and so on. All of these are anti-cancer, cancer preventing, and strengthen the immune system to be in the best shape against any viral attack. So thank you. My time is up. Sorry for the technical fallout. So I don't know what happened, but thank you. And after a break, then it will be over to the next session with Elder Newton. So thanks very much. God bless.